After spending 2 nights in Barcelona, we have now embarked on our 7-night Mediterranean cruise. Our first 3 stops are in Italy. We'll spend a day wandering the streets of Naples in search of great pizza in its birthplace, before heading off on a whirlwind tour of Rome and the Vatican. Our final stop in Italy is the birthplace of the Renaissance, Florence, where we'll climb to the top of Brunelleschi's dome and hang out with my good friend, Dave.
Let travel surprise you. Let moments excite you. Let me try to guide you along the way. There's a world out there waiting. Sights that need gazing. Food that needs tasting. And laughs in between. Oh, wherever I go, whatever I see, all that I know is you're coming with me. You'll forget it. You know the best is yet to come. In land or sea, trust Tyler Travels TV.
Detractors will try and tell you that Naples is not even Italy. They'll tell you not to come here, that you'll get pickpocketed or scammed or both, and all that may be true, but it could just be their fear of what may be the truth. That Naples is, in some ways, the most quintessentially Italian place you'll ever visit. And while the gritty roads, dingy alleyways, and graffitied streets do indeed stand in stark contrast to most other places you'll visit in Italy, for better or worse, Napoli is southern Italy's leading city. It's vibrant and heart-stopping, and yeah, maybe there's trash piled in the streets, and maybe you might definitely get pickpocketed, but never forget. This is where pizza came from, so it can't be all bad, right? Just a hop, skip, and a jump from Mount Vesuvius, Naples is in itself an attraction to be seen. There are sights, of course, but Naples is the top attraction. The streets, the Vespas, the grind of the city. Get lost wandering around. It is a place where anyone can get an education. Take in the balconies with laundry, walk into a centuries-old church, and maybe, if you're lucky, stumble upon a bit of art from a little-known up-and-comer, Banksy. Naples is a lot of things. It's old-world Italy. It's faded, it's shabby and seedy, but it's vibrant and colorful and exciting. But more than anything, it is, in its own way, beautiful. I grew up with foreign exchange students. We had them and they would come live with us for an entire school year, and they were from all over. It was such a cool experience because now I feel like I have brothers and sisters in Brazil and Italy and France and all these amazing places in Spain. So it was such a cool thing to have growing up. Like I said, one of them was from Italy, Fabrizio. So I asked Fabrizio, what do you think of Naples? He said, wash them, wash them, wash them with the fire. Ooh, Vesuvius, wash them with the fire. Needless to say, I don't think he's the biggest fan of Naples. Hi, good morning, boys and girls. So yesterday we spent the day on the ship. We were at sea all day, and we just had a relaxing day. We really didn't do much of anything. I kind of went around and filmed, just went to the spa. It was just a nice, relaxing day at sea. We didn't film much. I'll be interested to see what we even vlogged about yesterday.
I kept thinking I should vlog, but it was one of those days.
It was kind of nice.
It was nice, yeah.
Yeah, and there's going to be plenty of videos from this trip anyway. So yesterday was very relaxing. It was nice. However, let me show you outside right now. Day 3, I guess, technically.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, let me show you. So right here from our balcony here, you can see the Norwegian jade. And then if you look to your right, Naples lifestyle. We woke up Miss Genevieve awfully early and she was not very happy, but she seems to be in a great mood now. She's waving at everyone. Say hello. Bye. We are eating for the first time at the Haven restaurant, which is part of the Haven package, but we haven't eaten here yet. But it's sort of a smaller dining room off to the side. And we got a window seat here, looking out over Naples for breakfast. There are worse views for breakfast.
I'm excited to eat eggs.
The weather was kind of crazy this morning. It was windy, and then it was just pouring down rain for a few minutes, and then now it's back to being just kind of overcast, but at least it's not raining. It was pouring down rain for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's just so beautiful.
It's kind of cool with it being like gray and overcast. It's just cool.
Got something special. Wow, say thank you.
Thank you.
Say quack quack. Say duck. All right, made it off our ship there. Yeah, the sirens here in Europe sound totally different than American sirens. It's so beautiful.
You having fun so far, Gigi? Your Italian baby? One of the best parts about our stop in Naples is that once we get off the ship, we are already in the heart of town. A few steps off the ship, and we board our hop-on, hop-off tour bus.
Listening to the tour. Gigi, put it in your ear. Put it in your ear. Good job.
Okay, I have to admit that I am not normally the biggest fan of the hop-on, hop-off bus tour, but I do see the merits. If you're trying to cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time, get all the sites checked off your mental checklist, then it's a fine way of getting the overview of a city. Personally, I would much rather be down on the streets, walking around and getting the feel of a place, but on a cruise, one already has such a short amount of time in each port that a bus tour can be an economical way to see a lot of the city in one fell swoop. But the most important thing to keep in mind, don't forget about the hop-off portion of your hop-on, hop-off bus tour. Don't just sit in your ivory tower on the second floor of your mobile conveyance looking down your nose at the plebeians below. Get off the bus and immerse yourself in the city, even if that just means stopping off for a coffee. After all, the story of you getting into a farcical conundrum caused by a misunderstanding from a language barrier but ultimately having a new Italian best friend is a much better story to rub in the noses of your family and friends back home than, on our bus tour we saw this one church go by at 15 miles an hour. Get off the bus, find a place that seems like it may just be off the tourist path, and walk in. Our first true Italian espresso.
Yes.
It is black as night. Dad didn't want one. He's not a big espresso person, but it is, I can't wait to try it. We stopped in for a coffee, and I thought I'd get a little Nutella croissant for Gigi. And then before we knew it, we got a whole table full of
They just kept bringing
different
us new
pastries and tea. And but I'm not complaining. Everything
No,
is
everything's-
delicious. Properly caffeinated once again, it's time to set off on our walk of the city. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Getting out on the ground level is the best way to get to know a new city. And it seems that Gigi would agree. We relish our afternoon passeggiata, taking our time, stopping whenever something catches our fancy. We pass through grand galleries, dart down narrow alleyways, and saunter alongside buildings dating back centuries. Piazza Dante, a large, open public square, is something of an anomaly in a city known for its lack of elbow room. Looming over the center of the piazza is a statue of the poet Dante Alighieri, the Florentine-born writer of the Divine Comedy, and the namesake of Piazza Dante. From there, we make our way down the tree-lined streets to the Duomo di Napoli, the Naples Cathedral, a Roman Catholic church dating back to the 13th century. This imposing cathedral has seen its share of hardships through the centuries. It survived an earthquake in the early 1400s, bombings, and it has been rebuilt several times, resulting in a patchwork of architectural styles. Gothic, Baroque, and Neo-Gothic elements fuse together harmoniously and escalate rather than detract from the beauty of this church. The interior is embellished with elaborate frescoes, ornate ceilings, and an absolutely stunning altar. Whew, all this walking is making me hungry. I wonder, do they have any good food in Naples? Maybe a signature dish of some kind. Something like, I don't know, a round piece of dough that's topped with tomatoes, cheese, and basil?
So we're walking through Naples, and we find this place called Dal Presidente Pizza. And I guess during the summer months, it can have a line just around the block. Like it would be a huge long line during the busy months. But we got really lucky, and we walked right in. One of the benefits of traveling in November.
This place has been serving up wood-fired pizza according to the ancient Neapolitan tradition for nearly a century.
Supposedly, the pizza was invented in Naples, and the original pizza was a margarita pizza, like it is now. So, went in Naples. But we got the pizza margarita.
I think we all did.
Oh, you got the same thing? Oh, awesome.
If it's good enough for Bill Clinton, it's good enough for us.
There you go. It'll be, yeah.
To
But this
explain
is,
that, apparently Bill Clinton ain't here.
yeah, there's a picture of him, yeah.
You didn't know, they'd be like, what?
Yeah, okay, whatever you say, Braun. Oh my gosh, these were out in 2 minutes. All right, we've split them up. Jessica and I are doing the fold. These guys did the cut into quarters. And he still got the fold.
That's maybe the smartest way to do it.
You got a little bit of both worlds. What do you think there? Good? I was reading that it takes 2 to 3 years to become a master pizza maker, and it's all about the dough. The dough has to rise 10 to 15 hours overnight. Oh man, I can't wait to dive in.
That was actually the last footage I have of the pizza place, and so I can only assume that I didn't film anything after that because I was in such a state of pizza ecstasy that I just couldn't even think straight. Which is part of the reason that I'm not even sure if what happens next actually even happened. I wouldn't believe it if I didn't have footage.
We left Dal Presidente Pizza, trying to avoid getting run over by Vespas, and we sort of turn the corner and we're in this little narrow alleyway. And there's some beautiful statues of angels everywhere, because Italy.
And I look on the wall, and there's this painting of an angel, and it's covered in glass, which is interesting because there's graffiti all over in Naples, but this was like covered up like it was like something special. So I'm kind of looking at it, and I look down, and on the wall, there is a plaque that says Banksy. There's a Banksy on the side of Dal Presidente Pizza. How cool is that?
We all had that delicious, delicious pizza. It was pretty unbelievable. It was so good. So now Gigi, and really everyone, is pretty darn tired. So we're gonna hop back to the ship, lay Gigi down for a nap. Maybe the adults are gonna take some naps too. My mom got some gelato, so she's sauntering there behind us, eating her gelato. But we're gonna head back to the ship. Been out here for, what, 6 hours, 7 hours or so?
Wants another bite of the gelato.
Oh yeah, Gigi loves the gelato. It starts raining, so it's pouring down rain. Seems appropriate though, somehow. We're all hidden underneath this awning here.
My most important message is this: don't let people convince you not to go to Naples. Although I didn't get to spend much time here, I would be lying if I said I didn't want to go back. And so therefore, until next time.
We all took a nap, or I guess they took a nap, we did not. But Gigi took a long nap, and then we relaxed in our room, and then we got our luggage. Whoa, we got our luggage!
Never been
We would have taken our luggage for granted if it showed up.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
100%. You're right.
So now we're
Appreciate it.
yeah, we're at Cagney's Steakhouse celebrating. We had a reservation anyway, but we turned it into a celebration.
party.
Gigi's eating buttered bread. She's very happy.
Yeah.
She slept for what, 2.5 hours after today? She was a trooper. But yeah, she slept a long time. Gigi fell in love with the waitress, and the waitress is taking her around, showing her off to everyone. Hi, Gigi. Did you meet everyone? Did you meet everyone? Look, he's taking his hat off. Showing Gigi his hat. Gigi, have you made the best of friends?
Got a little bit of live music about to start, and Gigi happy as could be. I don't know why my flashlight thing is on, but...
Our second stop in Italy is the Eternal City, Rome. What in the world can I possibly say about Rome that hasn't been said by millions of people before me in a million different ways? It's beautiful. It's ancient. It's a modern city littered with some of the greatest ruins and antiquities on Earth. Now, I'm sure all that's true, but I can't testify to that because it all went by in such a blur. Somehow, in just a few short hours, we saw the Circus Maximus, followed by a swift photo op of the Colosseum. We then went to the country within the country, Vatican City, where we jogged a 5K through the Vatican museums and tried to fathom the scale of St. Peter's Basilica, the largest church in the world and home to the Roman Catholic faith. Now, don't get me wrong, it was all astonishing, but it went by so quickly, I nearly got whiplash. Luckily, I took tons of footage, so I'll take care of the cardio, and you can sit back and relax as we rapid-fire tour one of the greatest cities on Earth, Rome.
Okay, so I got to thinking about it, and there are a lot of phrases that we use all the time that have to do with Rome. So we've got, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. All roads lead to Rome. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. And another one, Rome wasn't built in a day. Now, what was interesting is our tour guide actually had a slight variation on that. See if you can spot the difference here. She said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it can be seen in a day as long as you run as fast as you can for 7 hours straight. It's not quite as catchy.
Good morning. We are on our way to Rome. We are in Civiccia. Civiccia. It means the old city, which is where the port is. And now we're on our way. Today we're doing like an all-day, 10-hour excursion. And we're going to Rome. We're going to see the Colosseum. We're going to see the the Sistine Chapel. I mean, it's going to be a long day. We're hoping this little girl's going to be a trooper. But the scenery here, just even on the way. Oh, there's the port. That's where we just were.
Oh, that's where we were?
Yeah, that's the ship down there.
Oh, wow.
We got a long day ahead of us. Right, lady? We're going to see some really cool stuff. I said, okay, whatever you say.
We got some espresso. Well, we're at, like, literally, they stopped at a truck stop so we could all go to the bathroom and stuff on the tour bus.
They can obviously tell I was American. And I went and I was like, 4 cafes. They're like, cappuccinos? I was like, no, the cafe. She's like, tiny Italian coffees? I'm like, yeah.
Yes, we know what you mean.
And she's like, do you want sugar? And I was like, no. She's
We
like,
can handle
okay.
it. But he got 4 of them. I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
I was falling
gonna
asleep
get 2
on that tour
doubles
bus.
and I didn't know how to order that, so I just got 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to order it either.
Our first stop of the day is the Circus Maximus, an ancient chariot racing course, which we really only get a passing glance of as we walk towards the Colosseum. Nowadays, there's not much left of it, but in its day, this was a massive stadium, much more colossal than the Colosseum, ironically. It held 250,000 spectators compared to the Colosseum's 50,000. It was also built hundreds of years earlier, which is why it is sometimes referred to as the Colosseum's big brother. It's mostly a vast open field now, but it's fun to imagine the ancient Romans walking these same streets in the other direction, heading towards a day's entertainment at this archaic arena. But we're off to see the relative new kid on the block, the Roman Colosseum.
Gigi, what do you think? Do you like the Colosseum? So yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Look at this lucky girl. Aww.
As we approach the Colosseum, we are first greeted by the imposing Arch of Constantine, a massive monument celebrating the military coup that resulted in Constantine being the sole emperor of Rome. But we all know why we're really here. To stand, or in Genevieve's case, toddle, in front of the glory of the Colosseum. This is the Rome of our collective imagination. This is the Rome we see adorning the walls of our neighborhood Italian restaurant. When we close our eyes and imagine ourselves on a Vespa, zooming through the streets of Rome, isn't the Colosseum the inevitable backdrop of our scene? It's the picture postcard, ready-made monument full of history and intrigue, where gladiators would enter the ring and face unimaginable battles against both man and beast. If I listen closely, I can still hear the roar of the lion. Oh. Wait, no, that's just my stomach. When are we doing lunch again?
Hey, so where are we?
Well, we're at the yeah, we didn't get to walk all the way around just because we're kind of in a time crunch, but we had some time to kind of walk around and read some of the history about it. But also right behind you, Tyler, is one of the 7 hills, the Palatine Hill.
Over there, yeah.
Hills Rome was built on, which is cool. I think you can tour that too. I mean,
Yeah, again, we are on a whirlwind of a day today. We're here for like 10 hours. We're trying to see basically everything.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it's kind of perfect since it's our first time to like roam and places
Exactly.
like this. We'll
And especially with Gigi,
we'll
yeah.
be back.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing about kind of being on this cruise is that we can hit a lot of stuff up and we still have a place to go every night with Gigi
Well,
because
again,
she's
having a toddler. It's invaluable.
But we're still here. We're still seeing stuff.
Yeah.
It's working out.
It is. And it's
Better than staying at home, I guess.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to rain. Perfect. You're just walking all over the place. All the way to Nana. Ah, better.
Spooky lighting, yeah. Stopping for lunch. And I think it's called like Casanova Restaurant.
Yeah.
Not far from the walls of the
lunch is
Vatican.
included with our tour today, so we're just there's wine and coffee and pasta. And
Daytime wine.
All the classic Italian foods.
Yeah, I'm in for it.
We finished lunch, and it was pasta, and I don't remember what the dessert was, but it was really good.
It was
some
really
sort of
good.
cream, raspberry.
Yeah.
And we got a tired girl on our hands, but we're going to the Vatican next.
Yeah, I don't think we're too far from it right now.
So we're about to get back on the bus and go to see the Vatican museums and the Sistine Chapel. She said there's some places we're not allowed to film. I know in the Sistine Chapel we're not allowed to film. So I
Yeah,
don't know
maybe.
what all
I
we'll
think
get
you
here.
can take photos in the museums,
But
maybe.
no video. Yeah, so
I don't remember.
we'll see how much footage we have from this next section, but I'm excited to go see the Vatican. That's going to be a really cool experience.
Okay, so we're going to see the Vatican. Now, let me try and paint a picture here. The Vatican is the world's smallest country, but there is a lot to see. It has the Vatican Museums, which has approximately 20,000 works on display with over 4 miles of hallways. It has Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel and St. Peter's Basilica, which, if you don't know, is the largest church in the world. One could take days or even weeks to see everything here. But to see all of this, we had about 45 minutes. So, needless to say, we were on a bit of a time crunch. Here we are, surrounded by one of the greatest collections of art in Western civilization, and it's all passing by us at breakneck speeds. As we jog, the best we can muster is, ooh, there's a statue. Would you look at that tapestry? Oh, did you see that ceiling? Very nice painting. Okay, what's next? It was the most beautiful way in the world to get whiplash. I could have spent weeks wandering around, scrutinizing the statues, pondering the paintings, taking in the tapestries, reflecting on the frescoes in this world-class, incomparable museum. But as I am often fond of saying, I guess we'll just have to come back. After we were all awarded our 5K medals, the tour culminates here, the entrance to St. Peter's Basilica. It is a bit ironic that St. Peter's Basilica is the largest church in the world, given the fact that it is found in the smallest country in the world, Vatican City. It's impossible to put into words how one feels walking into St. Peter's, religion aside. Catholics will come here to worship, but everyone can admire the vast scale and intricate details that make up this church, with contributions from some of the greatest artists of all time, with names like Michelangelo, Bernini, and Raphael.
She just wanted to crawl around. She was done, and she's like, I just want to be on the ground. But it's kind of,
We can tell her forever that she's laid down. In
I say, well, it's kind of a cool kind of a cool place for her to be laying down, because look at her, she's just laying down. But then look, there's the papal window, like where the Pope comes out at Christmas and Easter, and when we get a new Pope, comes out right there. And she's just crawling on the ground right there. She said, I'm done. I am done for the day. Just crawling up and down the stairs, back and forth. Don't crawl through. Mommy filled out a postcard there for Gigi, and she's gonna go put it in right now. Putting it right in there. There you go, it'll be mailed right from there. And in case you were curious, right there. We got back to the ship and decided we were just gonna eat something real quick. And we got a little dessert after. And Gigi figured out how to use a spoon just today, just right now. She says, oh, ice cream? Oh, I can figure that out.
No problem at all.
We've tried this for months, and she kind of got it, but she made a mess. Every bit that she scooped up has gotten into her mouth.
I've had my hand here waiting for drips. Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a drop.
Didn't she kind of grab the spoon away from you?
Yeah.
She's like, you're not doing it fast enough, Mom. That's all it took, ice cream. Now she knows how to use a spoon.
Time travel is not an easy feat, but I do believe it can be done. I'm sure there's many ways of doing it, but there's only one surefire way that I know of, and it's here. In a town I consider to be one of the best in all of Italy and even all of Europe. As long as you know where to go. Enter here, the Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral, better known as the Duomo. Climb the 463 stone steps, past Vasari's frescoes of the Last Judgment, through the seemingly never-ending narrow passageways, and finally emerge at the top of Brunelleschi's dome. From here, you have a bird's eye view of what was the epicenter of the Renaissance. If you try hard enough, you can find yourself in the year 1400. Now, don't get me wrong, the city of Florence looks quite a bit different now. A lot can change in 600 years. But from all the way up here, you can feel the weight of this city. As you stare out, you remember that this is the realm of Michelangelo, Machiavelli, the Medici, and Leonardo da Vinci. They walked these very same streets. This is the home of David, and if you close your eyes, you could almost hear Michelangelo chipping away at marble even now. This is where we find the roots of our modern world. This is Florence.
So whenever I tell people what I do, the most common question I always get is, then what is your favorite place you've ever traveled? And my go-to answer for a long time now has been Florence. I don't know what it was about this city, but it had this magical feel to it. Like, I just absolutely fell in love with it from the moment we got there to the moment we left. I want to go back there, and I want to spend a month there. It was so walkable and friendly, and it had, I don't know, just this like electric atmosphere, and it was just magical. I absolutely fell in love with it, and we were only there for like 3 hours. My parents opted to stay on the ship and watch Genevieve, so Jessica and I had a date day with just the two of us. Our tour includes free time in Florence and then a wine tasting at a Tuscan castle later in the day.
Guess where we are today? Firenze.
We are currently walking to the Duomo. We have tickets, and they're in like 15 minutes.
And so you had to schedule an exact time to walk up the dome.
Because you can go
to be
see
able
it.
to see over the city.
But we got tickets to go up, and I guess it's 463 steps to the top, and we're gonna walk them all, and then walk them coming back down.
Like Jessica. Well, we didn't know if we were gonna do it or not
Yeah,
time-wise.
just
so
on the bus. We just got tickets, so we're
on
gonna
our
go.
phones, yeah, so we're excited. So
It's raining.
it's raining. We brought an umbrella, but didn't bring it with us on this trip because it said it wasn't really forecast to rain.
beforehand. They said no rain, so we thought perfect.
And then it rained, and it was raining enough, and I was like, oh, I actually kind of did my hair today, so we bought a €5 umbrella. But.
Yeah.
So we're waiting in line to go up in the dome, but the line's really long, and we have literally like
2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours, and we have to eat lunch here before we go to the wine tasting.
And we have a walking tour that we're going to do, like a Rick Steves audio walking tour.
Yeah, just to see the rest of the city, kind of go down the main street and just see some stuff. We know we'll be back. I'm already loving this city so much because I have a weird obsession with medieval times.
Not the restaurant.
No, although that was fun going to it as a kid anyway, and as an adult. Anyway, so I really want to see this because I know it'll be really cool, but we kind of decided, okay, if we can't get in the next 10 minutes, we're going to have to go so we can see more of the city because, anyway, so that's what we're up to.
We're on our way to the top. It actually didn't take very long. I think they had to close the doors or something. But now they reopened them and we got in pretty quickly. We had a reservation time, which helped. We've got to skip some people too, so make sure and have a reservation.
Construction of the Duomo Cathedral first began in 1296, and Florentines always knew they wanted a giant dome on the top of this massive cathedral. There was only one problem. They didn't have the know-how to build a dome. For over a century, there was a giant hole in the middle of the roof, waiting until the engineering feat could be accomplished. Enter Filippo Brunelleschi, who constructed a dome within a dome. The inner dome, now painted with Vasari's Last Judgment, and the red outer dome, now the symbol of Florence. Construction of the dome began in 1420 and was finished in 1436. Those travelers brave enough to conquer the 463 steps, scuttle through the narrow stone passageways, and defy their fear of heights are rewarded with one of the best views in all of Italy.
Wow. We made it to the top. This is unbelievable. down to street level. That was where we were though. All the way up there. Oh, this is so beautiful. And it stopped raining.
Yeah, and
Yay.
the sun's out. What a great day.
The dome is certainly the most recognizable and most impressive feature of the cathedral, but take some time to walk around the whole place. The rather busy facade of the cathedral is clad in 3 colors of Tuscan marble: green, pink, and white. This was not completed until 1887, nearly 600 years after construction began. Some people love the look of the church, while others deride it as the church's pajamas. The main entrance of the church is an impressive sight in its own right. With Giotto's bell tower to one side, it's worth taking a few minutes to stand and take in the details. Once you've had your fill of the facade, turn on your heels 180 degrees and you'll be greeted by the octagonal Baptistry and Ghiberti's bronze doors. These doors are facsimiles of the original, with the real doors currently residing in the Duomo Museum. Lorenzo Ghiberti took 27 years to sculpt these iconic doors, known as the Gates of Paradise. They represent some of the earliest works of Renaissance sculpture able to demonstrate 3-dimensional space in a 2-dimensional plane. They show a mastery of perspective and depth, making these both a mathematical and artistic display of beauty. From the Duomo, we take a leisurely stroll to the Palazzo Vecchio, but first, we stop off for a bit of lunch.
We're stopping really quickly to just get a sandwich and stuff because we have like less than an hour left. We have like 45 minutes, so we're just gonna try and eat something really quickly. We got sandwiches
Kinda walk around
and the Statue of David's right out there. So that's pretty cool. The fake
Good
one.
enough for me.
So we just got some sandwiches and stuff at this little restaurant here on the corner. It was just a
You can't
little
really
pop-in
see it,
spot.
it's
They
yeah.
had we'll have to go over there, but there was
Pastries and sandwiches.
Yeah, sandwiches, pastries, so on and so forth. And then my friend Dave is standing there. Fake Dave. Real Dave's.
Faux Dave, he's back
real
behind.
Dave's further up that way. But fake Dave's pretty cool though. But we're just gonna sit somewhere, I don't really know where.
And eat our food.
Have a little sandwich.
Soak in the sights, people watch.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this for a while.
So we're just standing here, literally just standing here, drinking our Chianti, eating our sandwiches. And it's amazing, we were talking about how there's so many amazing statues, in this one piazza alone. And you wonder, why did David become so famous? It's beautiful, but, any of these over here are unbelievable. So what about David? It's kind of like Mona Lisa. Why now? Why this statue? Yeah, it really is amazing, though.
Well, we just finished our
According to
food.
Jessica, I have something on my face. Get out. You're far too
He
close.
really ate that pastry hard.
It was honestly one of the best.
They were both so unbelievably good. How'd you like mine?
It was good. I like mine way better. Mine was a million.
Yeah,
times better.
actually, yours was.
Anyway, but it was like this thin pastry with cream in the middle and chocolate on top.
And I had
One of
like
the
an
best things
eggy
I've
sandwich, and it
ever
was
had in my
heaven. I could have an egg sandwich every single
Did I
day.
get it?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Now I'm self-conscious.
This statue of David, just like Ghiberti's bronze doors on the Baptistry, is a facsimile of the original. To protect these aging, priceless works of art, they have been moved indoors and out of the elements. We continue our passeggiata to the Ponte Vecchio, a bridge dating back to the year 1345. Originally, this bridge was a meat market until the Medici came along and installed gold and silver shops in their place, a tradition that remains to this day. But even if jewelry is not on your souvenir list, come here anyway and soak in the iconic view of the Arno River.
So we made it to Ponte Vecchio. I didn't think we would.
Yeah, it was like 3
Everything's
minutes
so
from where we
close,
were.
yeah.
So we decided we're gonna hop over here just to say we did it. We did it. And now we gotta go back
Well,
to the
and
bus.
it's jewelry shops, which
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
neither one of
which
us.
is- Yeah. We have to go back to the bus now. We get on the bus and we can go to a Tuscan castle for a wine tasting at a winery in Tuscany.
Yeah,
Cool. How cool is that?
I'm very excited.
As if a day wandering around Florence wasn't amazing enough, we are now off to a charming farmhouse in Tuscany. The Castello del Trebio estate sits on the idyllic Tuscan countryside and operates as a winery. And as if that weren't enough, it also has villas and apartments on property, just in case you want to spend more than a few hours here. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to spend more than a few hours here? We're given a tour of the wine cellar where they have both wine and olive oil, and then we're taken upstairs to the dining area where we'll get to do a tasting of some of the estate's wine.
And it was like an old, wealthy home castle type place. And we're doing a wine tasting.
Yes, apparently we're doing 4 different wines because they own a winery here.
Yeah, they make Chianti and olive oil.
Very, very excited.
Well,
The wine was all delicious.
also
Tasted
we had something for the first time called Vino Santo, which was like their dessert wine that was like sherry, right?
Yeah.
That was a strong little...
Bang
After
of
all
wine.
the other wine, I was like, whoa!
The wine tasting was inside this little castle here, and then you step outside to these just
It's
unbelievable
exactly what I pictured
views.
Tuscany being like.
Yeah, it did not disappoint.
No, I'm so content. So content.
We're gonna hop in the shop here, and they said we can ship it home, so we're gonna see if we can get
buy
some olive oil and ship it
wine,
home.
Frankly.
Right, if we're gonna ship it, may as well. It's a bus tour to Nice, and they're going to take us around Nice, and then we're back to Cannes. We found our way up to the cathedral, and it's closed.